How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Lucid. I was unable to put a video together for you guys, but as you can see for today, we close at $29. We talked about how much this was a key level. Now it needs to make a move above the 200-day. We'll talk about it further inside this video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Lucid. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $29, being up 0.45%. On the low, it tested $27.86, and then on the high, testing $29.18. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 15.78 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 24.541 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the day, and we saw some consistency in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it is at 42.51. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 50-day, the 100-day, the 21-day EMA, and as well as the 200-day. And what we are seeing from Lucid, it is starting to gain a good amount of strength. We still have resistance here at the 200-day like I've been speaking about in previous videos, and is currently set at $29.39. We ended up seeing a high of $29.18. So if we see strength continuing to come inside of the market, this is where I want to see us get above the 200-day, and let's see if we can reach a 21-day EMA around $30.64. And this seems like it will be very doable going into earnings, which is going to be on February the 28th. As far as for a pullback is concerned, if we end up having some more turbulence, in the worst case scenario, if we end up having a pullback, you're going to want to see if it could hold up the $27.50 area. This will be a very key level. If it breaks through $27.50, then the next level you're going to look out for is around $26.50. So it'll be very interesting to see how Lucid performs as this week comes closer to the end, but it does look like it's ready to break above that 200-day, so let's see what happens. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Lucid. So as we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings for February the 16th, we have Dutch Bank that purchased 396,870 shares. And you know what? We'll take a look at the 15 since I didn't do a video for you guys yesterday. So we had the California State Teachers Retirement System that purchased, just under 497,000 shares. And we also have Tobam that purchased just under 290,000 shares. And then we have Parametric Portfolio Associates that purchased 44,517 shares. And we also have for Jard Havfonde for Swedish National Pension Fund that purchased just over 129,000 shares. So again, these are the most notable, but what we are seeing, institutions have been loading up on Lucid. So now when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 53.16%, and then for the dark pool short volume, it is just over 4.61 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 100,000, updated 14 minutes ago, and then for the short ball fee rate, it is at 8.15%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 14th, it was at 50.79, and then for the close of the 15th, it was at 53 53.16. So it has gone up a little bit, but one thing that remains clear, Lucid does have short squeeze potential, and this is why if we have strong markets and we have a lot of volume, this stock can make some serious moves to the upside. So now let's go into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Lucid. So we can see here on the inflows at 79.29, and then on the outflows at 65.59. So we had an inflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown on the large, it was 1.29. On the medium, it was 31.70. And then on the small, it was 46.30. Keep in mind, these numbers are in the millions. When we take a look at the outflow side on the large, it was 0. On the medium, it was 26.46. And then on the small, it was at 39.13. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for February the 16th, it was 1.29 million being an inflow. And then for the 15th, it was at 0.45 million. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the large, which represents whales, institutions, or funds, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 0.96%. So this is really good for a stock like Lucid. And what this tells us, there are many who are holding on to their positions. We also have seen in the recent institutional ownership, institutions continue to load up on shares as well. And then seeing that buying happening on the retail side makes things very interesting. And we'll talk about it further inside of the final thoughts. So let's get into it right now. So for my final thoughts for Lucid in regards to the price action, since it did close at $29 going into tomorrow, if we see weakness, then we could see a pullback going to around $27.50. Again, we need to see weakness in the market. If we see some strength now, or if you see other stocks that are in the same sector like Tesla and so forth, or other EV plays starting to make some moves, then we could see Lucid get to around $30. And the reason why it's very important for Lucid to get to $30, this will put it above the 200-day moving average, and then we can look forward to see if we can make that move to $32.50, and that's where things can look very bullish. Keep in mind, they do have earnings that is coming up on February the 28th, so make sure you have that on your radar because we could see a small rally. But keep an eye on the tech sector. This is very important, and this is why I always emphasize it. Also, watch the 10-year treasury yield. It has an impact on stocks like Lucid, especially for companies who are not profitable as of yet. And also, we know as far as tech stocks are concerned, they do trade at higher valuations compared to other stocks out there in the market. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential. So this is why if we continue to have that buying volume coming into the market and coming into the sector, we could see those moves to the upside. This is why I say you want to keep stocks like Tesla on your watch list. If you see Tesla running up, Lucid will move alongside with it as sympathy, and you could see this going on for the EV sector. And another perfect example of this is seeing ChargePoint get to like $15 a share. Again, use this as a strategy to take advantage of opportunities inside of the market. And for the last point I want to bring up is in regards to the Fed minutes. They ended up releasing it, and of course, nothing has changed whatsoever, and it's part of the reasons why we experienced a rally towards the end of the day. But I still have to let you guys know, we are not in the clear as of yet. We are still in a bear market. Things are still very choppy. So that's why I gave you guys those price levels to look out for. If Lucid can't get above $30 or if it struggles at $29, look for that pullback to $27.50. If it breaks through $27.50, then the next level you want to see hold up is going to be around $26.80. But for the most part, this chart is looking fairly decent. It is in a bear market since it's still trading below the 200-day moving average. So this is why I say it's very interesting to see how it performs going into tomorrow. Keep an eye on the tech sector, watch Tesla, and then you have a good idea to see how Lucid might potentially perform. So I hope you found this video helpful, and I'll be talking to you guys real soon.